experience with Damah here. Karibuni sana. Our admission started and we were admitted in the HDU. Fast forward, 3 weeks down the line, we are still there. They do all the tests, nothing is showing. But at this time, the baby is getting healthier, but he's still on oxygen. They tried to wean him from the oxygen, but he could not breathe on his own. So that kept us there, that the baby could not breathe on his own. We had to rely on the machines. I remember at some point we were asking the doctors with my husband, is it possible to organize to have oxygen in our house so that you can discharge us? It was draining emotionally, because remember I had mentioned that we have 2 girls, and this time the schools were still ongoing. So every time they would go to school, then their dad would go pick them and then come to the hospital in the evening. And that became a routine. And every time the girls would come, they would be like, Mom, when are you coming home? When are you coming home with our brother? I thank God for the family that stood with us, and even our church leadership. And I thank God that they stood with us. Let me tell you, when you're in the HDU, you know the beeping of the machines. Every time, that's the voice you could hear. I could not sleep, because every time I'm thinking I will take a nap, and I'm thinking, what if the monitor goes off? Because remember, there were sometimes the oxygen levels were going down. I would call them those on duties. But now by this time, because of staying there, I had mastered some things that they were doing. And so before calling them, I would try maybe to fix the pipes. So whenever they saw bell from my bed, they knew it was something that was beyond, so they would come running. And so we are here, not going home. The baby is still on oxygen, he cannot breathe on his own. And I remember having a serious conversation with God one morning. I remember unmasking myself before God. You know, I realized that all this time I was going before the Lord, just pretending like all was well, that I'm doing so well, all collected, all looking good and lovely. But that morning, I went before God and I told God, I'm tired. And I'm telling you, it is good to unmask yourself before the Lord, to have a conversation with God, because I can tell you, it heals. That morning I told God, look God, this is how I'm feeling. This is me now. I'm heartbroken. I'm almost giving up. I want my normal life with my children and my husband back at home and my newborn baby. And I remember telling God 2 things. God, you are the one who has blessed us with this baby. If truly you know that he's going to live with us, may you heal him, that we may be discharged and go home. And then I remember saying something that is not so common. It was hard, but I told God, because that's what I was feeling at that time. And I told God, if you know that the case is otherwise, then as hard as it is, I'm ready. And let me tell you, after that prayer, after almost an hour, I realized that the baby was so uneasy and just moving. He was in the incubator. And at some point, when he was still moving, he was able to remove the pipes from his nose, the oxygen pipes. And I was so scared, because every time I could tell the doctor, let's give him like 15 minutes to breathe on his own, they will try, and the next 5 minutes or after 10 minutes he was unable to breathe. And this time, now I started calling and looking for the doctors, because I was not able to fix those pipes because he had removed completely. When the doctors came, they said, let us give him time, because now, no, the nurse came and said, we are waiting for the doctor. We waited. By the time the doctor is coming, we've stayed like 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes off the oxygen. And so by the time the doctor is coming, he says, wow, you've been off the oxygen for 15 minutes. Let's monitor and see. And let me tell you, that was the last time my baby was on oxygen. And that's how we received our miracle. We got discharged from the HDU to the normal ward. And we stayed there for only one day, and then we were discharged. Glory be to God. And God did it for us. And since then, to date, my son has never been admitted, to the glory of God. But now we are home. Fast forward 4 months. The baby, we are still holding. You see, like the way you support the baby's head. We were still supporting the baby's head. He had not achieved the head control. And so, as a mother, of course, you start getting concerned. And you'll hear those myths. And like, boys are normally slow. Don't be in a hurry. Don't worry. And I started getting such reports. Don't worry. Such encouragement. The baby will be well. Boys are normally slow. And even being given examples, you know. But by the time the baby was 5, I was no longer now buying into that myth. Because at first I was, but now I was not buying into it again. And we talked with my husband, and he said we need to go to the hospital now. So we went to the hospital, and when we were checked, I remember we were placed on therapy. We were told, because of the complications that he had during his first days of life, he will delay in achieving his milestones, and for that we need to start to put him on therapy. And you were told to be patient. But let me tell you, nobody had prepared me well enough, because I thought we'll be there for like 2 weeks or longest a month. But from the day we started therapy sessions until today, it has been a journey. 5 years down the line, we are still doing therapy. And that's the time I realized, oh, our baby is special. And so we had to adjust to so many things. We had to face life in a different way. We had to handle him differently. And as I told you, that journey that I've explained, I've done so that now when I present to you on parenting a special child with a smile, you can understand where I'm coming from. Because since then, I've been parenting a special child, a wonderful child, a blessing and a joy in our family. So look out for the next video, where I'll now start giving out pointers on how to parent a special child with a smile. And pointer number 1 will be acceptance. It's a very important point, even to caregivers. Acceptance. Acceptance. Let me leave you with some words that were said by Joanne Ryan. Joanne Ryan said, motherhood is about raising and celebrating the child you have, not the child you thought you would have. It's about understanding that they are exactly the person they are supposed to be, and that, if you're lucky, they just might be the teacher who turns you into the person you are supposed to be. And I'll add one more by Vivian Green that I love so much. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's learning to dance in the rain. Bye bye. God bless you. Nawapenda sana.